Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night with a sudden stabbing pain in your calf, like your muscle turned into a rock and refused to let go? You are not alone. Millions of adults experience leg cramps every week, and for many, they become more frequent and more intense as they get older. But here's the surprising truth: most people try to treat cramps the wrong way. They think it's all about stretching or worse. They simply wait it out. The real cause often lies much deeper. Inside your cells, in the way your muscles use minerals and energy. Today, we are diving into 3 powerful science-backed foods that can dramatically reduce leg cramps, not by masking the pain, but by addressing the root cause. And we are going to connect the dots between your nutrition, your muscle physiology, and your nervous system, so you can finally prevent those painful spasms before they even start. Here is what the research shows. Leg cramps are strongly linked to imbalances in key electrolytes, magnesium, potassium, and calcium, as well as the way your brain and spinal cord signal your muscles. When one of these systems is off, your muscle fibers contract uncontrollably, causing that familiar Charlie horse. In this episode, you will learn the hidden mineral deficiency that nearly 75% of adults have, and the best food to fix it: a simple evening routine that can reset your muscle and nerve function overnight. Why one common healthy snack might actually be making your cramps worse. And by the end, you will have a practical food-based protocol that is easy to follow, backed by neuroscience and physiology, and designed to keep your muscles calm and pain-free, especially important if you are in your 40s, 50s, or 60s and want to stay active without fear of cramping up. So grab a pen, because we are about to build your anti-cramp blueprint together. Have you ever wondered why a cramp feels like your muscle is stuck, like it forgot how to relax? Here's the science. Magnesium is literally your muscle's off switch. Without enough magnesium, your muscles stay partially contracted, creating the perfect setup for a sudden spasm. Magnesium is a mineral most of us are quietly running low on. In fact, research from the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey, NHANES, shows that nearly 70% of adults don't meet the recommended daily intake. That's a big deal because magnesium is required for over 300 biochemical reactions, including those that relax your muscles and calm your nervous system. When your brain sends a signal to your muscle, calcium floods in to trigger contraction. Think of calcium as the on switch. But to relax, your muscle needs magnesium to push calcium back out and reset for the next contraction. If magnesium is too low, calcium lingers, and your muscle fibers stay locked in partial contraction. The result? Cramps. This is why nighttime leg cramps are so common. As you sleep, your magnesium levels naturally dip. And if you are already deficient, your muscles are primed for spasm. A study published in the journal Magnesium Research found that supplementing magnesium significantly reduced muscle cramps in older adults, especially those who were deficient. Another randomized controlled trial reported that magnesium improved sleep quality, which is a bonus because poor sleep itself can worsen muscle cramps by heightening nervous system excitability. Here's the good news. You can get a magnesium boost from food, and the #1 source is dark leafy greens. Spinach, kale, and Swiss chard are packed with magnesium in a form your body absorbs well. Think of these greens as the relaxation signal for your muscles, a simple tool to apply. Add 1 to 2 cups of lightly steamed or sautéed greens to your dinner. Pair them with a healthy fat like olive oil that helps absorption and keeps your blood sugar stable. Through the night, if you want to double down, pumpkin seeds are another magnesium powerhouse. Just a small handful can provide nearly half your daily needs. Here's a quick, actionable protocol you can try tonight. 1. Evening magnesium meal. Include dark leafy greens or a magnesium-rich food source at dinner. 2. Hydration check. Sip a glass of mineral water with your meal to support electrolyte balance. 3. Wind down routine. 10 minutes of gentle calf stretches before bed to reduce muscle spindle hyperactivity. This works synergistically with magnesium. Try this for 3 nights in a row and notice how your muscles feel. Many people report fewer or less intense cramps within just a week. Have you ever tracked how often you get cramps? Write it down tonight before you start this magnesium routine. It's a small habit that makes your progress measurable and motivating. And if this insight is hitting home for you, consider sharing this video with a friend or family member who struggles with leg cramps. Most people have no idea that magnesium is this powerful. Here is a surprising fact. A single avocado has more potassium than a banana. And yet, most people still reach for bananas first when they get cramps. Why does potassium matter so much? Because it is the mineral that allows your muscles to reset after every single contraction when your brain fires a signal to your muscle. Sodium rushes in and potassium rushes out. This electrical exchange creates movement. But here's the catch. If you don't have enough potassium available, that electrical reset slows down. Your muscles stay charged, hyperexcitable, and more prone to misfires, which show up as cramps, twitches, or spasms. Every one of your muscle cells relies on something called the sodium-potassium pump, a tiny molecular machine that keeps the inside of your cell balanced. Think of it like a bouncer at a nightclub, constantly controlling who gets in and who leaves to keep the vibe right. When potassium is low, the pump struggles. And the result is poor muscle control and higher risk of cramping. Potassium also helps regulate fluid distribution. If your potassium is low, your body tends to hold on to more sodium, leading to subtle dehydration inside the muscle, another hidden trigger for cramps. A clinical study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association found that higher dietary potassium was linked to a significantly lower risk of muscle cramps and better overall muscle function, especially in older adults. Another study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that simply increasing potassium-rich vegetables improved muscle performance and reduced nighttime cramping episodes in just a few weeks. Here's where most people go wrong. They try to get all their potassium from bananas, which only offer about 10% of your daily requirement. The real heavy hitters? Avocados, spinach, beet greens, sweet potatoes, and even mushrooms. A simple tool to apply: make a potassium-rich bowl for lunch. Combine half an avocado, a roasted sweet potato, some lightly cooked greens, and a sprinkle of pumpkin seeds. That single meal could give you close to 50% of your daily potassium needs and keep your muscle cells firing smoothly for hours. Another overlooked option: coconut water. It's nature's electrolyte drink. Just make sure to choose one without added sugar. Here's a daily habit that stacks well with the magnesium protocol we covered earlier: 1. Potassium-rich lunch. Aim to include at least one high-potassium vegetable in your midday meal to track your intake. Use a food tracker app just for one day to see how close you are to the recommended 4,700 milligrams of potassium. Most people are shocked by how low their numbers are. 3. Balance with magnesium. Potassium and magnesium work together. Think of them as your muscles' calm duo. If this insight is helping you, consider subscribing. There's more where this came from. And I release new science-backed strategies every week to keep you performing at your best. Quick question: which potassium-rich food do you actually enjoy? Avocados, sweet potatoes? Drop it in the comments. You might give someone else a new idea. When you start hitting your potassium needs consistently, watch what happens. Not only do cramps often disappear, but you may also notice steadier energy and better blood pressure control. That's the hidden bonus of getting this mineral right. When you hear calcium, your first thought is probably bones and teeth. Strong skeleton, healthy smile. But here's what most people don't realize. Calcium is the spark that ignites every single muscle contraction in your body, and just as importantly, it helps switch that contraction off every time you move. Calcium floods into your muscle cells, binding to proteins that pull your muscle fibers together. That's contraction. To relax, calcium has to be pumped back out, but if calcium levels are too low, or if the pump is sluggish, your muscles can get stuck in partial contraction. That lingering tension is one of the hidden triggers of cramps. Here's the fascinating part: calcium doesn't work alone. It operates in tight partnership with magnesium and potassium. Magnesium helps shuttle calcium back out of the cell, while potassium stabilizes the electrical charge. If calcium is out of balance, it throws the whole system into chaos. Research from the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism shows that low calcium levels increase neuromuscular excitability, meaning your nerves overfire, and your muscles are more likely to spasm. Another study published in Nutrients, women with lower calcium intake experience significantly more nighttime leg cramps, especially during pregnancy or after age 40. This connection explains why cramps are more common in older adults. As we age, our ability to absorb calcium declines, especially if vitamin D and vitamin K2 are also low. Without those cofactors, even if you eat calcium-rich foods, much of it won't make it into your bones or muscles. The good news? Calcium is abundant in foods, you just need to know the most bioavailable sources. Sardines with bones, one of the richest natural sources of calcium. Plus, they come with vitamin D and omega-3 fats for absorption. Leafy greens like collard greens and kale, high in calcium but best absorbed when lightly cooked. Fermented dairy like yogurt or kefir, easier to digest than milk and packed with bioavailable calcium. A simple tool to apply: try building a calcium-rich dinner. A serving of grilled sardines or wild salmon with a side of sautéed greens and a spoonful of yogurt for dessert covers your bases beautifully. Here's how you can put this into action without overcomplicating it. Dinner calcium boosts include at least one calcium-rich food at dinner. Evening is ideal because calcium supports muscle relaxation as you wind down, pair with vitamin D. Spend 15 minutes in sunlight earlier in the day or include a vitamin D-rich food like salmon. ADK24 Synergy. Fermented foods like natto or aged cheese help direct calcium into the right places, your bones and muscles instead of your arteries. Have you noticed your cramps are worse at night? That could be your body signaling a deeper calcium imbalance. Imagine how much better your sleep would feel if your muscles stayed calm instead of jolting you awake. Drop a comment. Which calcium-rich food do you actually eat regularly? I know sardines aren't for everyone, but leafy greens or yogurt are easy swaps. And if you're finding these science-backed strategies helpful, make sure you're subscribed. This channel is here to help you not just survive aging, but thrive with energy, focus, and strength. When you get calcium right in balance with magnesium and potassium, you create the perfect environment for your muscles to function smoothly. No spasms, no restless nights. Just calm, steady movement the way your body was designed to operate. Most people think leg cramps are simply a sign that they're dehydrated. Their first instinct? Chug more water. But here's the surprising truth. Drinking too much plain water can actually make cramps worse because it dilutes the very minerals your muscles need to function. Your muscle cells need a delicate balance of water and electrolytes, sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium to generate and relax contractions. If you drink large amounts of plain water without replenishing electrolytes, you lower the concentration of these minerals in your blood. Think of it like a swimming pool. Too much water relative to chlorine throws the chemistry off balance. And suddenly things don't work as they should. The same happens in your muscles. The result? Misfiring nerves, overactive muscle fibers, and cramping. Studies on exercise-associated muscle cramps, EAMC, repeatedly shown that cramps aren't just about fluid loss, they're about electrolyte imbalance. A landmark paper in the Journal of Athletic Training found that athletes who replaced lost sodium and potassium through electrolyte drinks experienced significantly fewer cramps compared to those who only drank water, even if you're not an athlete. The principle is the same. Your body needs electrolytes to maintain proper muscle function, especially overnight when cramps often strike. Here's a better approach. Instead of guzzling plain water late at night, sip small amounts of electrolyte-balanced fluids throughout the day. You can make this at home easily. DIY electrolyte drink. Mix a pinch of sea salt, a splash of lemon juice, and a little potassium-rich coconut water into a glass of water. This creates a balanced fluid that hydrates without diluting minerals. Another option is sparkling mineral water, which contains natural magnesium and calcium. Here's a hydration protocol to prevent nighttime cramps. Front-load water. Drink most of your plain water earlier in the day. Evening electrolytes. About an hour before bed, sip a small glass of electrolyte-enhanced water or mineral water. Don't overdo it. Too much water right before sleep can interrupt your rest with bathroom trips, which ironically raises your cramp risk because it disrupts your sleep cycle. Quick question for you. Have you ever had a night where you drank a ton of water and still woke up with cramps? That's not just bad luck. It's physiology. Your electrolytes were likely out of balance. If this tip is resonating with you, take a moment to subscribe. I post science-driven strategies every week to help you optimize your health from the inside out. Here's the key takeaway. Hydration isn't about flooding your body with water, it's about precision. You are not just a water balloon. You are an electrical system. And for that system to work, the charge has to stay balanced. When you think about hydration this way, it stops being random and starts being strategic. You are actively creating the internal conditions for calm, steady muscle performance. Here's a surprising insight. Not all leg cramps are purely about minerals. Sometimes, your nervous system is the real culprit, sending overdrive signals to your muscles long after they should have been switched off. Every muscle contraction starts in your brain. A motor neuron fires, the signal travels down your spinal cord, and your muscle fibers respond. But deep inside your muscles are tiny sensors called muscle spindles, whose job is to detect stretch and tension. When those sensors become overly sensitive, often due to fatigue, stress, or poor recovery, they keep firing even when the muscle doesn't need to contract. It's like having a car alarm that won't stop going off even when the street is empty. That overfiring keeps your muscle on and can trigger those painful middle-of-the-night cramps. Research published in the Journal of Neurology has shown that INCREASED, excitability of spinal motor neurons, is strongly linked to nocturnal leg cramps. Another study in Muscle and Nerve found that gentle stretching and proprioceptive training before bed significantly reduced cramp frequency, calming these overactive reflexes. Here's the empowering part. You can train your nervous system to stay calmer. Even while you sleep, a simple nightly protocol. Stretch and hold. Spend 2 minutes gently stretching your calves, holding each stretch for 20 to 30 seconds. Avoid bouncing, just steady pressure. Foot flex drill while seated. Flex and point your toes 10 times slowly to reset your muscle spindle reflex. Breath work. Finish with 2 minutes of slow. Nasal breathing, inhale for a count of 4. Exhale for a count of 6. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which tells your body it's safe to relax. This combination down-regulates the excitability of your motor neurons, setting the stage for calm muscles overnight. Have you ever noticed cramps are worse after a stressful day or after sitting for too long? That's not a coincidence. Stress heightens your nervous system's firing rate, priming your muscles for twitching. Try this stretch and breath routine tonight. And pay attention to how your legs feel in the morning. I'd love to hear in the comments if it made a difference for you. Your feedback helps others who are searching for real solutions. Here's the big takeaway. Cramps aren't just a muscle problem, they are a whole system problem, involving your brain, spinal cord, and emotional state. The more you treat them holistically, combining nutrition, hydration, and nervous system resets, the more lasting your results will be. And if you've been finding value in this series so far, make sure you're subscribed. We're building a community focused on staying strong, sharp, and pain-free for life. You've heard the saying, it's not just what you eat, it's when you eat it. That principle is especially true when it comes to leg cramps. Timing your nutrition and recovery habits around your body's natural rhythms can dramatically reduce your risk of nighttime cramps. Your body runs on a 24-hour internal clock called the circadian rhythm. At night, several changes take place. Your blood pressure drops, your core temperature lowers, and your mineral levels naturally fluctuate as your kidneys filter electrolytes. This means if your reserves of magnesium, potassium, or calcium are already low, nighttime becomes the perfect storm for cramps. Eating strategically in the evening can top off those reserves before you go to bed, giving your muscles what they need to stay calm through the night. Research from Chronobiology International shows that mineral absorption, especially magnesium and calcium, actually be more efficient later in the day, likely due to hormonal changes that optimize uptake. Another study in sleep medicine found that individuals who consumed balanced meals in the evening had fewer nighttime cramps and reported better overall sleep quality. Here's a science-backed evening protocol you can start using tonight. Step 1. Magnesium-rich base. Build your dinner around magnesium-loaded foods, sautéed spinach, kale, or Swiss chard drizzled with olive oil. Magnesium calms both muscles and the nervous system, setting the stage for better sleep. Step 2. Potassium power boost. Add a potassium-rich side, roasted sweet potato wedges, a green salad with avocado or lightly steamed beets. This helps your sodium-potassium pumps reset for the night. Step 3. Calcium closeout. Finish with a calcium source, a small portion of plain Greek yogurt, or a few sardines with bones if you enjoy them. Pair with a vitamin D source earlier in the day, sunshine or fatty fish, to maximize absorption. Step 4. Electrolyte-enhanced hydration, about an hour before bed. Sip a glass of mineral water or your DIY electrolyte drink. Avoid overhydrating, the goal is balance, not volume. Step 5. Nervous system reset close. Night with the stretch and breathing protocol we covered earlier. Calf stretch, foot flex drill, slow breathing. This signals your spinal cord to stand down and your muscles to stay relaxed. Imagine finishing your evening with this protocol and waking up with calm, relaxed legs instead of painful cramps. How would that change your sleep, your morning energy, your motivation to stay active? Try this full protocol for just 3 nights and write down what happens. You might be surprised at how quickly your body responds. I'd love for you to share your results in the comments. Your story could be the motivation someone else needs to try this simple but powerful habit. Here's the big idea. Prevention is about stacking small, smart decisions in your favor. By combining magnesium, potassium, calcium, electrolyte balance, and nervous system resets into one seamless routine, you're not just treating cramps, you're teaching your body to function the way it was designed. This is how you move from being reactive, I hope I don't cramp tonight, to proactive, I know I'm setting myself up for a good night's sleep. That's a powerful shift and one of the most underrated ways to take control of your health after 40, 50, or 60. Let's take a moment to put everything we've covered into a clear, powerful blueprint. Because information is only as good as the action you take from it. We started with a surprising truth. Most leg cramps aren't just random. They are predictable signs that your body is running low on the key minerals and balance it needs to keep muscles calm. First, we uncovered the magnesium connection, your muscles off switch. Magnesium is what allows your muscles to fully relax, and when you're low, cramps become almost inevitable. Adding dark leafy greens or magnesium-rich seeds to dinner can start making a difference in just days. Next, we looked at potassium, the forgotten electrolyte. When potassium is too low, your muscle cells can't reset their electrical charge properly, leaving them hyperexcitable. Avocados, sweet potatoes, and greens are your best allies here, not just bananas. Then came calcium, not just a bone builder, but the spark that allows contraction and relaxation to function in harmony. By eating calcium-rich foods and pairing them with vitamin D and K2, you keep muscles and bones strong while avoiding those painful nighttime spasms. But we didn't stop there. We reframed hydration, showing that it's not about flooding your system with plain water, it's about precision and balance. Small amounts of electrolyte-rich fluids, especially in the evening, help prevent dilution of critical minerals. We also tackled the often overlooked nervous system factor by calming the overactive signals from your brain and spinal cord with a simple nightly stretch and breathing protocol. You set your muscles up for a calm night's rest. And finally, we tied it all together with the evening protocol, a step-by-step routine you can follow tonight to top off your mineral reserves, hydrate intelligently, and reset your nervous system before sleep. Here's your simple anti-cramp checklist. Magnesium-rich greens at dinner, a potassium boost from avocado, sweet potato or beets, calcium from yogurt, sardines, or cooked greens. 1 small glass of mineral water or electrolyte drink before bed. 2 minutes of calf stretching and slow breathing. Do this for 3 nights in a row. Track how many times you wake up with cramps. You may be amazed at how quickly your body responds. Preventing cramps isn't just about avoiding pain, it's about reclaiming control of your sleep, your energy, and your confidence in staying active as you get older. When you sleep deeply, your brain repairs itself, your hormones stay balanced, and your muscles recover. Better nights lead to better days. Imagine getting through the night without being jolted awake. Imagine waking up feeling rested with steady energy for the day ahead. That's what this blueprint is about, not just preventing cramps, but improving your quality of life. Now it's your turn. Try this evening protocol tonight and share your experience in the comments. Have you found one food or strategy that worked especially well for you? Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to finally get relief. And if you found value in this video, hit the like button. It really helps others discover this information. Subscribe if you haven't already, because each week we break down the latest science into simple, actionable tools to keep you performing at your best. We're building a community of people who want to stay strong, focused, and pain-free, and you're now part of that movement. So tonight, give your muscles what they've been asking for. Feed them, balance them, calm them. Your future self will thank you.